another new episode on Tech with Hero. As you all know, Tech with Hero, we link tech minds to insight one episode at a time. And I'm your host, Hero. So here an interesting guest. When we say women in power in the tech space, you know, it's good whereby we see because we hear a lot about tech. People that own tech are majorly males, right? And when we see women doing great things, we need to give them their flowers. So we have one of the women doing great things in the tech space here on our platform, and her name is hi new guests. Can you introduce yourself?
For having me. My name is Omon Eni, and I'm the co-founder of Ascendia. I'm here today to have a chat with you guys. I'm actually happy to be on this podcast platform today. Hopefully, you're able to get a little bit of insights around our topic and what it feels like being on the other side, especially as a woman.
Yes, thank you so much, Amanda, for the brief introduction. So, guys, today's topic is going to be very interesting. Trust me, we bring only the best to you guys. And today's topic is the power of women led tech initiatives driving equity and transformation in this space. We want to see how women have been able to drive, equity and transformation, because we get to see that, okay, male is doing this, male is doing that. And if you look at tech space, tech companies, you would count like 10 to 15 men before you count a woman. And when you see that moment of seeing a woman leading, not just working on that, but owning stuff, leading, it's a great thing. You heard her; she's a co-founder, so you can see that she's a power woman. It's good to have you, Omar. It's good to have you on our show. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you for having
So I think we'll just go straight to questions. What really inspired you to start Women Tech Initiative? What really inspired you to be like, okay, I think I'm a woman, yeah, but I really want to do this tech solution. What inspired you?
Whenever I get asked that question, I usually have like a very, composed and strategic way to answer it. But I think for the purpose of the fact that this is a conversation, the first thing that I would say is that starting Accendia started from lived experience. Originally, of course, I didn't intend to be a founder. Just to put it out there, there was no intention. I just really, really I just really wanted to be a woman that actually loves being in the tech space, and I wanted to thrive in it. But I mean, moving to the UK, I struggled with it a little bit, and so I started to actually document my journey. It all started from documenting my journey. By the time I started to post on LinkedIn, post on Instagram, TikTok, and then I started to see other women that were inspired by the journey and also were in the same shoes as myself. If you go to any tech training, any boot camp, any place where they're doing training, where you're looking out for people that are very big on their career progression, I can beat my chest and tell you that the majority of people you will see there are actually women. So how come women have the drive to want to get into this thing, but we're still in this ecosystem where women are struggling quite a lot? They do not have like that hand holding effect. They don't have that one-to-one guide, that can help them navigate the complexities of being in tech. And so it actually did not start as me being a woman that's founding something or founding an initiative or an organization. It first started as, okay, I'm an immigrant and this is what it is. But eventually, having when I started to speak to a lot of people, I started to realize there's actually power in this thing that I have started. And the fact that every other woman will see this and say, oh, this community that I'm about to join that does this thing is actually female led, and I'm so inspired by her journey. I'm so inspired by everything that she has been able to do over the years, and I think that I want to be a part of it. And this is how it started. And even within the Accendia community as a whole, you can tell that there's this drive among the female members of our community community, just because there's something about the leadership, that is pushing them to want better, that's pushing them to be able to fix themselves into this very, very complex tech space that we are in right now. And I think that alone for me, aside from inspiration, is achievement. And yeah, that's pretty much how I got here.
For taking us through the entire journey and what inspired you to be like you're putting your 2 foot into the tech space to provide solutions for people. Okay, so can you describe moments in your career where being part of the women led made a significant impact? That point whereby there was something that just that brought you as Omo and Annie, the power woman, into the limelight. you know.
My co-founder just a few minutes before this call, and I was talking about obviously this meeting, and I said there are so many things that I can pinpoint that makes me happy for the work that we are doing currently. But I think majority of it is the fact that if you could count how many people have been impacted just because we exist, you will see a lot of women. And these are not just like we have women from different countries with different lifestyles. And the fact that we've been able to help them navigate their way into this system. I believe that I've said complex system a lot on this call, and you would agree that tech in itself is very complex and it is ever changing. And women being women, trying to still figure it out with how complex it is. The fact that I have been able to, speak or mentor a lot of women has been like a turnaround moment for my career as a founder. And the fact that I am a part of this, helping women to get into tech, helping women navigate their way. We have mothers in our community. We have people that do not know that this is how far they can stretch themselves in terms of their abilities within the community. We have people that they doubted a lot about the things that they have. The things that they have. I mean, I have some mentees that are getting into the community. There's something we do. We do like a one-to-one roadmap of what the career trajectory looks like. And she told me very recently that in her very first session with me, when I was talking and telling her that, yes, so this is how we're going to do it now. We're going to, in 6 months, this is what 6 months should look like, this is what 12 months. She was like, who the hell is this person? And why do you think that all of these things can just work out for me like that? But now it's been what 6 months since she joined us, and she's got a job offer. Not just progress. Now she's in another phase of her career journey where we're trying to get her to pass her probation, keep her job. And this is someone that just 6 months ago she was stuck in the application phase and doubting that she could actually break into tech. So all of these very, very little bubbles of things that I would say experiences in other people have have been very, very significant to my journey. And I think this is what I will categorize as my significant impact so far. And yeah,
That but during this journey, or you're still in the journey anyways, but there have there been a time whereby you get this more like a low self-esteem, seeing that a man, because you what you're doing, I'm sure they have other people that are also doing what you're doing, right? So have there been a situation where you just that feeling of, oh, if it were to be a man, it would have been better, or something like that. Have you ever had cases whereby the gender thing has limited you?
I said that there were no times like that. I'll be lying, honestly. If I say, I mean, one thing that I have been doing is obviously attending like a lot of pitching events just to obviously put our community out there, put spread the word about Accendia. And then when you get to those events, you see a lot of male founders. And I think there's that imposter syndrome comes in like a little bit. But I think the mission in itself is something that keeps me going. Even when I want to start saying, oh, how do I compare to this person? I look at this man, see how confident he's speaking, see how confident he's acting. I just remember what I'm there to represent and the people that I'm there to represent. And that's what keeps me going in instances where I ever feel those senses of, I wouldn't call them low self-esteem, but I would call them very, very little moments of doubt, because I try to make them very little and do not last too long. But yeah, there are definitely moments like that, and I'm sure that they are not just going to be in the past. Going forward, there will still be days like that, but days like that. But the fact that there's a reason why this is happening in the first place, and the fact that I'm trying to make a mark in this industry, I think that alone should be motivation to keep me going on the days where those thoughts come in.
Um, Hi to our listeners, people that just joined. Yeah, I can see some persons already commenting. Looks like she's frozen. Who is it, me or the guest? Or maybe you can try check in on network. And also, if you have questions, it's a good time to drop your questions. Please, your questions should be constructed to what we are talking about today, which is the power of women-led tech initiatives, um, driving equity and transformation. So your questions should be constructed towards this topic. And you can drop your questions. So we ask the guest. We actually prioritize our listeners' questions. So you drop in your questions and we can ask the guest alongside. Thank you so much for joining. I'm very certain you're going to enjoy this section. So do well to take the link, share with your female techies, even your male techies, right? Because they need to join and come and see what the women are doing in the space. Thank you. Next question: what strategies have proven effective in creating inclusive spaces with your initiative?
I have like a little bit of background working in process improvement and quality improvement. And something that I learned from that is co-production and co-design. So when you start to talk about like strategies that have proven very, very effective in creating inclusive spaces, especially I would say for the fact that we have a niche for the business that we're building, co-design has always worked well for us. Um, we are trying to build a system that is powered by AI, but at the same time, we value and leverage on community. So even from what our products should look like, our products, should help people. And these are things that I feel like I've been able to portray very, very well, especially because of the intentionality that comes about how I talk about, breaking into tech, getting yourself into something within the tech space. Another strategy that I think has worked very well is storytelling. At the beginning of the call, I talked about how when it all started, I started by sharing my journey, my personal journey of how everything has gone for me, how I've been able to navigate this space. And I was able to like normalize the imperfection and the failure part of this journey. And that's something that people do not really, really talk about a lot. If you are very keen on, creating inclusive spaces for people, whether as a female-led founder or as a male-led founder, storytelling is one thing that you cannot really, really show to the back of the shelf. And something that aligns with this topic very, very well is definitely around tech with equity, putting tech with equity in mind. For us, we were working on our AI career auditor, and it is trained to have diverse data with from different people because our community is focused on immigrants, right? It reflects the dynamics of the community that we serve, and I think that when we start to talk about navigating this tech space, like we said, we've established that it is complex, but having something fixed, like there is what you are building your technology for. There is who you are working with, which is your community. Inclusion shouldn't be an afterthought because you have to put all of that, into consideration when building the community, building the system or the technology in itself. So I would say that for us or for me, are the strategies that have proven to be very, very effective.
Okay, thank you so much for that. What do you think sets women-led leadership itself? Right? No, I don't. We need to actually know these answers because I'm very certain a lot of when I posted the graphics out there for publicity, I got that part of people, especially women, are scared to start up something in the tech space. And main reason is because of the fear
Mm,
of will I be accepted in the space? Everybody just if you I'm really surprised. I had meetings with some people and I was surprised to see that the people leading the entire tech department, like different sectors, are all female. So I was a bit concerned that okay, for me to see different sectors, that's the engineering, the product, the QA side, they're all women leading. I was a bit curious to find out why, and I discovered that the owner of the company itself is a woman. So something would have led her to be like, I need women to own, you know, own this unit. I need women to lead this unit. So in this way, we want to know more about how we can do this better. Anyways, so sorry for always bringing questions like this up to you. Anyway, so what do you think sets women-led leadership apart in the tech ecosystem?
I think I would say that aside from seeing this in myself, one thing I've seen in most women leadership is intentionality. This is not to say that men are not intentional, but a woman would channel, the way that a woman would channel the what she's building, you can see the intentionality, you can see the purpose in it. Even it comes across even in our storytelling. It comes across on the days where you are asked the question around, oh, what are you building? I heard that you were a co-founder or a founder of something. What are you building? If you spin that story around, you can tell the intentionality around how that woman will tell the story. And this is something that is very, very is a common connector for women in leadership. There is that thing of who are we building this thing for? And I hope we're not leaving anyone behind or anything behind. There is that thing, and I think that this is what sets women leadership apart. It's a very, very big differentiation. Every time I have to go and talk about what we're building at Accendia, you can tell the intentionality. It's a lived experience, and so more than this is what we are here to do. This is what we are selling. It is more of this is the impact that we're trying to make. And even when you hear other female founders speak, you can tell the intentionality behind the reason why they decided to build that or the reason why they're in leadership positions. There are a lot of examples that comes to mind even right now. You can tell that everything that they do in terms of their leadership position or whatever it is they are building is rooted in purpose in itself. And because we are very expressive, even in the way we talk, you can capture all of that. And I think that's a very big differentiator and definitely what sets women leadership apart.
Case you just mentioned, I've seen the male say things like, "Oh, you were given because you were a female." Do you think it's coming from a place of do you do you think it's coming from a place of they actually, had that value to get it, or from the place of because they are female, they are giving them leverage over the male?
Case basis, right? Um, if we're to use, for example, what we are building, and if there is ever a time where someone asks me to come and speak about it, you will know that it is purpose driven and very intentional. And I do not think that anyone would hear how I would talk about this platform and would think that I was given because I was a woman. They would hear because there is a storyline, there is a solution that we're providing, and all of those things would not be too hard for them to figure out. And for me, that's definitely what would set me apart. If I would ever have to, be in a room where other males have the opportunity to talk about what they're building or their leadership styles, relating to their job roles or their career paths, and that's why I answered it like that. So, yeah.
What's your vision for the next 5 to 10 years in terms of women leadership itself?
5 to 10 years, women are not just participating in tech. We're actually shaping the agenda for the pace at which the tech space is moving. I want to see women, different demographics of women, culture, race, women actually making an impact, sitting at the table. In quotes, that one. Sitting at the table in the next 5 to 10 years, women sitting at the table, women leading, designing, investing, because this is also a very, very big part. With female investors, I shouldn't find it too hard to be able to pitch because I know that there are people about to, change the narrative for women-led organizations, female in the investment spaces, female leading, female building. I want to see like a future where the tech ecosystem, is more not just more accepting of women, but women are dominating with equity, just how men are, without it being, oh, this is women, this is men, that kind of thing. I think that that's what I want to see in the next 5 to 10 years. A place where equity is not just a buzzword. It's not something that carries advantage, but something that is normalized, because that's what it should be. So yeah, that's definitely what the baseline should be, and I would say that that's what I'm looking to see in the next 5 to 10 years.
Two other questions. Let me talk to the listeners. Hi, listeners. Thank you for joining. I'm seeing people trooping in and out. Thank you for joining. Our topic is the power of women led tech initiatives, driving equity and transformation. So, if you have questions pertaining to this topic, how women can drive equity, what are the things women are doing, the strength of women in the tech space, you can drop in your question and we'll ask the guest. We have limited time though, so we might not ask her on the call. We might ask her later and we drop the comments to you on the chat, regardless. So before we ask the last question, I would want you to talk about your product, Ascendia. We want to learn because you started with a co-founder of Ascendia, and it's in a way I get the information of you're helping people, especially the women, get into the space and all of that. Maybe you can give like a broad elaboration on it and how people can get to you so that listeners can know how to reach you.
Amazing stuff that we're doing. Our major goal is to help immigrants navigate new markets. So, especially within the tech space, by new markets, there's a lot of challenge that people go through when they relocate to new countries. We're starting first with the United Kingdom. We're helping immigrants that have come into the UK but are struggling to fix themselves within the tech space. We're leveraging on mentorship, job placement. We're also leveraging on supporting them with how to transition their experiences, transferable skills into UK standard. We're looking to obviously expand into other countries, but for now that we're in the UK, our main goal is to help immigrants navigate new markets, fix themselves into the tech space. To do this effectively, we're using mentorship as a tool. So we have mentors, people that have walked this walk, people that have actually also immigrated in the last couple of years, but they've been able to figure it out. So they are helping our mentees with strategies, hacks, everything that they need to know about landing interviews, making themselves attractive to recruiters, also getting this job. We support with interview prep, and most importantly, we teach people how to keep their jobs. We've had instances where people get jobs, they don't pass probation. So, more than getting the job, we focus on how to keep your job. Another amazing, fantastic thing that we're doing that underpins all of this, helping immigrants navigate these new markets, is we're currently building an AI powered career counselor and career auditor. So, this AI powered tool would help you do something we call a skills audit. Talk about how you can leverage on your skills, qualifications, and experience, sort out industries that your skills, qualifications, and experience fit into, as well as connect you with job opportunities that you should be looking at with your current skills, qualifications, and experience. Also, let you know things that you can work on with your mentor now, that can help you navigate other parts, or I would say higher roles within the tech space. So, after you've done the career audit with our AI tool, you then get passed on to a mentor who would hold your hand through the whole process with preparing your application, supporting you with interview prep, and eventually mentoring you on how to keep your job, on how to do well within your job in this new country. So that's really, really what we're building at Accendia.
Ascendia, is it.com?
Accendia.org.uk. Yes.
You've heard. So if you are in the UK, especially because now it's for the UK residents. So if you're in the UK and you would want to gain your foot into the UK tech ecosystem, Ascendia is the go-to for you. Okay, so what's your advice for young girl considering a future in the tech but unsure on where to begin? I'm a young person. I want to do so well in this tech space. I'm a lady, and how can I gain my grounds, especially in this system? Because I've seen a lot of persons, they start and they've dropped out. Sincerely, because it's coming from the fact of, oh, it's just too much. Some, even we that we are in it, sometimes personally for me, I get drained sometimes, and it now has to do with the fact that there's passion. Sometimes passion will keep you going, right? So what's your advice for people that are just, young ladies that want to go into the tech space? How do you feel they can navigate their way?
To start with curiosity. Be curious. You need to ask questions. You need to speak to people. You need to do research, because in the tech space you can easily be tossed around. I've had situations where someone said, "Oh, I did a data analysis boot camp. Eventually, I didn't really like numbers. I did a product design boot camp, and then went on to do something in Scrum." Be curious and do your deep research to know exactly what it is that you want to do. The second thing I would do is never underestimate the power of a skills audit. Your transferable skills did not just happen because you were just on one role that you didn't like. There are things that you can leverage on from that role that you can transfer now into any part of the tech ecosystem that you want to fix yourself into. My third advice would be look for mentors. Look for people that are already doing what you want to do in the next couple of months, in the next couple of years. Speak to them, read their journeys, look at what they have done before. Can you replicate those things, or can you even do better than what they've done? Let them guide you. Let them serve as your guide. Towards getting into that place that you want to get to. Lastly, and most importantly, find communities that see you. There are so many female communities on LinkedIn. If you go to LinkedIn and type women in project management, you see a community. Women in software development, you see a
Imagine that you are not going anywhere. We are in this together.
community that they will be there to raise you up, even on the days where you feel like you're not moving with this new quest that you have embarked on. You need to find those communities, because you would hear stories, you would see people that have walked the walk, or people that are even currently where you are, but have just taken maybe a step higher or two steps higher. You can draw inspiration from them. And I think that's all that I would tell anyone that is a young lady that is looking to get into tech. All of these things you need to implement.
Annie, it's really good to see a power woman sharing a bit of her journey, and because sometimes I get to see it as these women are they not having that, should I say, like a bit of self-esteem or self-doubt when they see men. There's this, because I don't know, the men, they don't feel less of themselves. There's this confidence they have that it's my space, for crying out loud. You came to my space. So when I see women doing stuff, I just want to find out, are they a bit shaky when it comes to the fact that men too are also in that same level with them and stuff like that. So it's good to hear from you, and it's very interesting to see that you also feel that way a bit, but you know how to work around it, because on the long run, this is what you want to do. It's the passion. Exactly. So it's a passion, and thank you for sharing insights and that. And they also feel that they are not alone, or maybe they're just even starting, and they are seeing that, oh, men are doing so well, and they want to they want to have that a bit of low self-esteem. Now they can get or learn from you that you also had felt that way, right? But this was the way you were able to overcome it and all of that. So you're doing so well in this space,
Thank
and
you.
I'm really, really glad that Ascendia is also doing something like that to help the women gain their grounds in the tech space too. So, guys, our podcast is really always very short so that people can actually stay on it, listen, and share. So, just for you to just enjoy all that Omon has said, because that would be very, very selfish of you. So, don't just listen alone. Please click on the other women in the space, because they need to know that Omon is also a woman that is doing great things in the space, right? So she's somebody that should encourage us to stay in the tech space. We should not shake because she's doing it. Imagine somebody that is a co-founder having to co-found a product that is doing so well till now. It's not easy.
Right.
So you can see the amount of up and down solutions and problems she's trying to crash one at a time. So guys, do well to share the link with your friend in the tech space, male or female, right? Share with them. Let them come and learn one or two things from almost insight that she has shared, and I'm very certain you're going to enjoy it. It's educative, and personally for me, I've learned one or two things, and in a way, there's this part of it that okay, I'm not left alone. Almost who had a bit of oh, it's not easy in the space there and there. So thank you so much, Omwan. Thank you for sharing insights with us. We are glad, and if you want to reach out to her, please, Omon any on LinkedIn, Omon any on Instagram. I'm very certain Omon any on Twitter too, right? Okay, so please reach out to her, ask questions, connect with her, learn one of you can directly ask questions to her. Okay, people are still joining. We're about closing. I'm really sorry. Hi, everyone. So you can always go back to the video to listening. Drop your questions. We accommodate dropping questions. Yeah, thank you so much. Drop your questions, and when you do, we'll reach out to Omon, ask her the question, and bring back a feedback to your comments to respond to your questions. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please do well to click the subscribe button and engage on the episode. That's the way you can tell us that you really enjoyed today's episode. Thank you, Omar. It's good to have you. And bye.